Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe. Today's video is actually a story time about my life, something that I went through this time last year actually. Yeah, it's actually this time last year, so it's like a year ago. As young adults, we tend to make certain decisions in our life. Some people's decision might be to get a degree, to move to a different country entirely from what you're used to, or to even drop out of school. Some people make such decision. Where my own decision was to have an abortion, which is against my belief as a Christian, my faith as a Christian. It's against my culture. I'm from the western part of Nigeria, so the culture is you get married before having a baby, but mine is the other way around. Although I got married in the process, while I was pregnant, I got legally married. It started off with when I found out that I was pregnant. I was so scared. I was like, oh my god, what am I going to do? I told Prince was like, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to abort the baby. It's non-negotiable. He kept quiet. It was around like 1 a.m. in the morning. So he said I should go back to sleep. I went back to bed. Of course, I can't sleep in such situation. I think I slept after like 3 hours of rolling back and forth on my bed, thinking of just imagining a lot of things, thinking of a lot of things in my brain. What's gonna happen to my studies? What's my dad gonna say? What are people gonna say? People are gonna make fun of me getting pregnant at such a young age. Oh my god, a lot of thoughts were just running through my mind, running through my like, oh my god. So the next morning I went to the hospital. I had to take the HCG test because I'm like, sometimes the urine kits, it gives like false positive. I was hoping that it was a false positive result, but no, it wasn't a false positive result. I was actually pregnant via the HCG test. And the nurse was like, congratulations. I'm like, oh, hell no, no congratulations. That was what I said. In my mind, I was just like, no. So I saw a doctor the next day. I think I called up the doctor and she booked an appointment for me to come the next day to see her. I went to see her. She did the vitals, everything. She looked at the pregnancy test. She looked at the urine test. She's like, oh, wow, you're really pregnant? I said, I think so. Yes, I am pregnant. So she asked me, what do you want to do? What are you going to do? I'm like, I want to abort it. First of all, she said, due to her faith, she doesn't do abortion. She's Catholic, so she's totally against abortion. I'm like, okay, but then she further asks, why do I want to abort it? I'm like, number one, I'm gonna start showing people are gonna know in school that I'm pregnant. She said no, they're not going to know you're pregnant. So she asked me, when is school gonna close? I told her so time. She said no, you're not gonna be showing before then because you probably be like 4 months, getting a 5 months then, so you're not going to be showing. She said, okay, what other reason? I said, I'm scared. How am I going to continue with my studies? Because my plan was to finish school, get married, then get a baby. That's everybody's plan, obviously. she's like she's like, oh wow, that why am I so worried about that? Then she told me a story. She actually had a baby in her first year of medical school, and she said she was also scared like me. She didn't know how to tell her mom, but eventually she told her mom, and she had to take a year off. She's like, you're even better, you're almost done with last semester of basic science, that you can take a year up, then go back to do your clinicals and take your license exam. She's like, you can do it, don't think about. And if it's telling your parents, you can get maybe somebody that your parents will listen to, speak to the person, and you guys should go together to your parents and talk to them. I'm like, okay. And she also advised me, like, there's a lot of psychological trauma, emotion, that comes with aborting a baby. It's not just the decision that you make drastically. You have to think about it, because sometimes you keep remembering the baby's date of birth. When you find that you're pregnant, you keep going back and forth with the ultrasound. Most times, or most of the time, she said, if you don't think about it well, you might regret it later. So she further booked me for appointment. Let me just say that at that point, I was a bit settled from my advice. I'm like, okay, maybe I will think about keeping the baby. So she booked me for ultrasound clinic. The specialist saw that I wasn't excited. I looked so sad. Then he was like, oh, you don't look happy. I'm like, hmm. So he took a piece of paper, he wrote the number of a doctor that actually does abortion. He's like, in case you think about it, just call this number, this is the doctor. And when I found out I was pregnant, I was already 8 weeks, which was 2 months, right? But the doctor aborts baby at 8 weeks exactly. It doesn't go over 8 weeks. I know some states or some countries, I think it's like 12 weeks or so. But he only does 8 weeks. And I was already over the 8 weeks, and that was just a no again. I was thinking so much about it. So when I got back home, back from school, I called Prince, we talked about it. Everything's like I should think about keeping it. I finally decided to keep it. But we had to pray a lot. We had to pray for, telling my parents. We had to pray concerning, especially my family. I was kind of worried about what people would say, but I was much more worried about what my family, my mom, my dad, and my siblings would think about me, because I was the least person they would expect such thing from. They won't be like, oh no, Bisola won't do that, but Bisola actually did. And I made a decision based on pressure, and what I found out was some decision that we make, or when your decision is due to a negative action, the decision might turn out as bad as the action, or it might not go as you plan. So it's important to take time when you need to make important decision of your life. It's important to sit down, think about it over and over again before you make it. I was so sad about it. And I was also so scared about, how am I going to cope with this semester? Pregnancy symptoms of first trimester, you get tired, fatigue, you're vomiting, morning sickness. But I didn't have much morning sickness. I was scared of throwing up in the school. But then people would know that, oh, this girl's pregnant. But lo and behold, I wasn't throwing up that much. The only time I threw up is when I'm brushing my teeth. Of course, gag reflex, that's the only time I threw up. And a couple of times in school, but I will run to the bathroom where people don't usually go. That's the bathroom I will run to go and throw up in case I want to. But one thing I was always so tired. And medical school, you need to sit down and study for a long time, revise question and all those things. I was always so tired, and I was becoming less active. I wasn't participating much in class. That one of my professor had to call me. He had to call me and be like, what's going on? So I told him, because I actually trusted him to tell him such information to be confidential. I told him, I told him my fears and worries. So it's like, don't worry, children are a blessing. The kind of blessing you will receive when you have this child, you will be surprised. And I'm actually so surprised. It was actually the best semester of my basic science. I had the best grades. Yeah, I had the best grade. Me that was scared that I wasn't gonna do it, I did well. But I would be in class, I wasn't taking notes. I'm a kind of person to take notes when I'm in class. I wasn't taking notes. I'll just be looking at the professor. I'll be like this. I'll just be looking. When I get back home, I drop my bag. I go and sleep. The same way I dropped my bag from the previous day is the same way I will pick up my bag to go to school the next day. I'm like, wow. Even Prince was scared. It's like, Ruth, are you not gonna study? He was nervous than me. I'm like, I'm fine. But I made it through. I'm glad. I thank God. When I came back to New York to come and join Prince here, we had to pray so hard, concerning telling my parents, because it wasn't easy. And that's story time for another day. If I tell you how my parents reacted, this video is gonna be so long, so I won't. But I had to tell my siblings while I was in school, so. And my elder brother actually advised me to tell them after the semester, after the semester is over. If I was to tell them while I was still in school, their reaction might affect me, and I will not be able to pass the semester. I will be scared emotionally and everything. So I told my siblings, of course, they knew, and they were happy for me, but at the same time they were also scared of how my dad especially is going to react to it. Yes, my dad especially. And growing up, I've always knew abortion, it's not good, it's a sin, on, depending on my own faith. And the same thing, Prince knows abortion is a sin, but the circumstances surrounding it, the conditions surrounding it, made me, to make such decision at that time. And thinking about it now, I wasn't really thinking well. I was just saying it based on what people would say, how I was gonna cope with school, how people are gonna look at me so badly. There was I was just over everywhere with the emotion. And when sometimes people will tell you, oh, put yourself in my shoes, that kind of proved wrong for me. Because if a friend come to me and tell me, oh, Abby, I'm pregnant and I want to abort it, I'll be like, oh, don't abort it, blah blah. But when it came to me, I wanted to, and I made such decision because I was so pressured. I was like, wow. So this phrase, put yourself in my shoe, doesn't actually work 100%. You really have to experience that thing for you to know what a person is going through. You have to experience it by yourself. Don't try to imagine, oh, if it was me, no, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You have to experience it by yourself to understand how a person feel about a certain situation, certain event, a certain scene. So yeah, that was how I was able to get the courage to keep the baby, to keep pushing hard, to tell my parents with God. And one thing somebody said to me was, don't keep a baby. No, he actually asked me, am I keeping this baby to keep this man? So I'm like, no. And it's actually true. You don't keep a baby because you want to keep a man. Actually, a baby will even drift you guys apart, because especially if you're first time parent, you make different decisions. You want things done this way, you want things done that way. You probably have misunderstanding, you will clash. It will drift you guys apart, especially if you're not even like married, or you don't have a solid relationship. So he asked me that, I'm like, no. And I'm glad that was not the reason. I also told him that I'm scared of my mates are gonna be far above me. It's like, don't worry about it. Everybody, you have a valid reason to take a break. You had a baby. Don't worry about it. Everybody will go at their own pace. It's not a rush. You guys are not in competition. So he just advised me, and he kept encouraging me. And I would say that semester. So yeah, if there's anything you should take from this video, is don't make important decision of your life when you're so pressured, and don't think about what people will say about a certain situation. In my situation, what I had to think about, is repentance, asking God for forgiveness and repenting. That's the most important thing. And also, don't feel like you're in a competition with your classmate. No, everybody goes at their different phase. Actually, my classmates, they are all studying for their exam, but I'm here still taking care of my baby, and I don't regret it one bit. But sometimes I'm human, I tend to think about it, but then I try to get myself distracted, think about other things, think about the blessings that has come with having Ryan, think about how much of God's grace has been sufficient for me and my family. I think about the positive side, and I just leave the negative side, behind. I'm like, no. And one thing is, I'm going back to school. I know for sure I'm going back to school, and even Prince is like, you're going back to school. I'm like, yeah, it's not negotiable. I'm going back to school. A baby would stop you from not going back to school. One thing I want to say is, if you're in the same position as me, you're still in school, it's never going to be easy, but it is doable. You need to keep pushing, you need to keep striving to succeed. You shouldn't let the baby prevent you from getting to your dreams, from doing whatever you want to do. Actually, this motherhood thing has actually pushed me much more than even when I wasn't a mother. I want to try different things. I want to learn different things. I want to, open a business that I've been talking about for the longest. It made me realize a lot of things about myself. It makes me more open, and thinking that I was so scared of how am I gonna take care of a baby at this age without my mom, and God had just been in control. And thanks to Prince too, he's been so supportive, and other friends too has been supportive of me. And if you're one of those friends that you've gave me encouraging words, you've texted me, Abby, you can do it. Thank you very much. Thank you for always pushing me, I'm so much happy. I appreciate it so much. And I also want to say thank you to my family. Without my family, I don't know if I would have done it, but without my family and God, even though I did a bad thing, they were still there to console me. My mom would call me every day, making sure I'm okay. My siblings would check upon me. Thank you so much. Shout out to my friends that came from my engagement. When I moved to New York, Prince proposed, I got engaged. Thank you, Tommy and Francine, for flying or for all the way from UK. I appreciate you. I love you, baby. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Please don't forget to subscribe, share this video, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.